So to get started, I'm going to take a couple of book pages. You can use scrapbook paper, book pages, cardstock, really anything that you want. But let's see, I'm just going to take 2 book pages just to, because we're going to be layering fabric on, so I don't want them to get too bulky, but I think that 2 pages will give them enough stability. Just going to cut these down to about 5.5 inches just to get those raw edges off. The page is about, currently it's about 9 inches tall. I want to cut these down a bit, so they will be, let's say 8 1/4. So 5.5 by 8 1/4. That sounds good to me. Maybe we should do 8. 5.5 by 8. So cut this down to 8. Next, I'm going to get my book pages glued together. Again, I will be doing mine with the sewing machine, but if you aren't, then you definitely just want to make sure you get your edges completely with the glue. So there's one. And all right, so next I'm just going to fold these up in half. Like so. These can really be whatever size you want them to be. They don't have to be my sizes, but I'm thinking that if it's going to be a book that's maybe 9 by 6, these will fit nicely in there as floating pockets. So I'm going to take it to my machine and stitch the seams together, and I'll be right back. I've got mine stitched together. I would like to say I do plan on using fabrics that have like beading and stuff on them, so that's why I went ahead and sealed these together. But if you're gonna use just flat fabrics, then you can also stitch those to this, so you don't obviously want to glue this together, you know, before you, or you don't want to stitch this together before you sew your fabrics onto it. Okay, so next I want to take this, and it's a metallic gold, and I want to go ahead and do the edges of my pocket with this paint. So I'm going to set these aside to dry. Taking out some fabrics from Sheila, who's Boho Daydreams. She sent me some really beautiful pieces, and I want to try and use some of these like beaded ones that she sent, because I think it'd be really nice. Okay, I think I have picked out some pieces that I would like to use. So I'm just gonna grab my pocket, make sure that it's dry, which it's not, so I'm gonna dry it. All right, so I've dried those down a little, and I think what I'm gonna do is a little bit of script stamp on these for some added texture in the background. Okay, looks good to me so far. I'm going to take a bit of my fabric here, and I want to cut down just a bit of this to cover, enough to cover basically a portion of this. I'm trying to figure out the best way to cut this. And then I think I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit more. So we have that. Very pretty. So I'm gonna glue that down. So this bit of fabric does have beads on it, so I can't stitch over these anyway, which is fine. Okay. Now before I flip this one over, I'm just gonna let it dry, and we'll come and take a look at this one. So I'm going to put some of this fabric on the back of this one, and then I will go back and put some of this on the back of this one. So let's do that. These are the finished pockets. Very simple, but I don't think that you need to add a lot to them because then it's going to take away from, you know, the beautiful like beading and other kinds of stuff that's on these fabrics. So this is it. This is something that you can just pop into your book as a little floating pocket. And yeah, so this is how they look. I hope you all have enjoyed watching this. If you do, be sure to thumbs up this video, and if you decide to give this a try, tag me on Instagram by using Pink Odd Bird. So that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.